Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us and thank you for your time. This is going to be a great one. Something we've never done before, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. We get to interview an auctioneer. And yes, he will slow down so you can understand what he's saying and not be like it is on the block. First and foremost, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
BRYAN Nichols.
Thank you for having me.
Also known as?
Spanky.
So, I gotta ask, where'd that name come from?
Many, many years ago when I was a kid, I looked just like him, and I probably acted like him too.
There you go. There you have it. That makes perfect sense. Hey, so so the people can know that they're out there watching, do you just wake up when you're a kid one day and say, I want to be an auctioneer?
No.
How did this happen?
My dad was an auctioneer. He graduated from the auction school that I went to. He graduated from that school in 1974 when I was 2 years old. Wow. So it's kind of a family thing, and that's kind of how I fell into it.
And so you saw him growing up, and you're like, damn, that's so cool.
Well, I was working auctions with him as far as back as being 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. In the summers, I would go with him and work not so much auto auctions, but different kinds of auctions, and I would help him set up and prep and get ready, and I would work the ring as he was selling. As young as 9, 10, 11 years old.
So then growing up, everybody wants to be a baseball player, a policeman, an astronaut. Did you have something else that you wanted to be other than an auctioneer?
I wanted to sell cars.
It's the same difference.
It was just in me just to sell cars, and I've always, as far back as I can remember, I had someone take me to a car dealership when I was probably in 5th or 6th grade, and they went through the car buying process, and from that day on, I remember it like it was yesterday. I fell in love with the process, and that's what I've been doing my whole life.
So you love it? Is it fair to say that you love it?
I do love it. I do love it.
Because I was once told by somebody in this room, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
That is absolutely correct, and I have a pretty good feeling of who told you that.
Yeah, because he's been doing it for a long time. People probably out there wondering, what does it take to be an auctioneer? You said earlier that you went to school where your dad graduated from too, and what is it? How do you automatically get your tongue taught or teach your tongue how to go so fast? Is it your vocal cord training?
The school actually gives you the tools to go out on your own and practice and learn how to think before you speak, how to just really kind of breathe, and they just basically give you all. When you leave auction school, you're not an auctioneer. You may have the paperwork and all the qualifications.
You need the experience.
But you need the experience, and it takes years and years of practice and just time on the block and different scenarios, because every scenario is different, and it takes it's a process, a time process of learning all the different scenarios, and I would like to think I haven't got them all figured out yet. You know what I mean? As long as I've been doing it. I don't think I still know everything. You know what I mean?
I don't think any of us know anything about what
every day is different.
Do you still remember the first time you got your chance to get on the block and auctioneer? How long ago was it? And do you remember what it was that you sold?
It was at my father's auto auction, and it was probably about the same time. Do you remember when them Bubba teeth came out?
Yeah.
Another auctioneer was going to be funny, and he got down and put me up. And I started selling, and he looked up at me and smiled real big with them Bubba teeth.
Yeah.
And I just lost it, and I ran off the block, and I never got my composure back. I never got back up there for probably another month. But
how long had it been since you had graduated from auctioneer school that you got that chance?
Probably 3 to 5 weeks.
Wow. So that's pretty quick because
I was very lucky and very fortunate because my father did own an auto auction. Yeah. So it gave me the opportunity to already know a lot of people that was well into the business already that helped me along quite a bit. And thank you, by the way. And so I really kind of feel like I had an advantage, in that my father owned an auto auction, so I could practice every week.
True.
At a car sale.
And I bet you that's a big advantage because
It's a huge advantage.
You have your own practice field, if you
do.
will,
You do.
whenever you want it. So let us into some of the secrets of the auctioneers. What do you guys look for? Is it mannerisms in a buyer? Like, what instincts that you have to have that people won't necessarily tell right off the bat because you're up there and they're looking at the car? But what is it you're looking for? Is there behaviors?
It's not necessarily instincts versus getting to know your buyers, your clientele, knowing what they buy, knowing when they're ready to buy, knowing when they need inventory, when they don't need inventory. And a lot of it is just memory. I mean, memorizing, what this certain dealer buys. And when that type of car comes in, of course, you're looking for that guy that you already know is going to buy the car because you've dealt with him in years past and you know what his buying habits are. So some is a little bit instinct, some is just really knowing your customer base and really getting to know your customers and becoming friends with them. And
have a good memory, I would assume, because
of course.
You don't only auctioneer here, you have a couple other auctions that you auctioneer, right?
Yes, I work 5 auctions a week, and a lot of them is a lot of the same clientele because I work 5 different ones, kind of all in the South Texas area.
Yeah, and that helps because then it builds that rapport that you have with all these guys
of
that
course.
You see up north somewhere, and then you see here, and then you go back and see them over there. So that always helps.
Well, and in my opinion, it always comforts somebody to see a knowing, friendly face. You know what I mean? I feel like the dealer is more comfortable and more likely to buy something from somebody he knows and feels comfortable with versus just walking into buying from a complete stranger.
So then that leads me to this next question. So going in through auctioneer school and getting out, do they also teach you the customer service part of it? Because that's one thing that I noticed about you guys. You guys say hi to everybody. And I get it. You got to build that relationship with that buyer. You got to have that confidence in each other. But is that one thing that just comes natural? Is everybody like that? Or is it just the few that kind of know that they should be doing that for their better?
They touch base somewhat on it. And sales is, whether it's auctioneering or home sales or car sales or any kind of sales, I think my first step to sales is making a friend. Relationship, making a friend and making, let's be friends first and then let's talk about whatever else we need to talk about.
It's like I always say, we're not in the car business. We're in the relationship business. You just happen to sell cars.
Right.
Because the relationship comes first before the car, and you guys are a prime example of doing that. Now, another question that I have. So, you were lucky enough to be born into an auto auction and hearing your dad and hearing the other auctioneers. Do you think I could be an auctioneer or anybody that's just maybe in the auction business or maybe, like that? Is it a skill that can be trained or do you have to be born with it?
It's hard to say either way. I will say, I don't know what the stats are now, but years ago, when I graduated auctioneer school, I was always told that 5% of every graduating class would do something with it. The other 95%
really
was just there wasting their time. And a lot of it is making relations, knowing the auction family, knowing the people that are already well established in the auction business. And if you're liked, you're going to be helped. If not, you're going to be. But
95%, it's not like this auctioneer school is free, right?
No, it's not free.
Wow. So it's just like, you have so many degrees more than a thermometer, but you don't use it.
It's really a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of, building relationships with the established auctioneers and getting in under their wing, getting everybody to respect you as knowing what you're doing, and not trying to fake it. Just get out there and just really get your hands dirty and do it. The cost when I went, which was in 97 or 98, was probably around, I want to say $2,000, but I think it's gone up now it's closer to $3,000 or $4,000 now.
What is something that you like in an auction that you're going to work for?
Customer service. I mean, it's a customer service industry, and I feel like this place is one of the best at it.
Well, thank you for that. And I know I did not pay him to say that, nor did we talk beforehand. This is a question that I had on here, and I said, let me ask it. So, you know how I asked you earlier at the beginning of our conversation, you know, most kids want to be a baseball player, football player, whatever. If you were not an auctioneer right now, what would Mr. Nichols be doing?
I'd probably be in a dealership in a suit and tie.
Oh, that would be horrible.
Yes, I know. I've been there.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I like seeing you in shorts and
that's you know I did that as well before I got into the auction business, so I kind of know both ends of the business. You know, it's to each his own, and I like my weekends off, and you know, those dealerships. I mean, they're 12, 15 hours a day, six days a week.
Yeah, that's tough.
And it's hard to put it down when you do go home.
Yeah.
So.
And I've always compared it. It's kind of like being in the oil field, because I used to be in the oil field, but now being in the oil field.
Yeah.
I think you spend more time at home in the oil field than you do being a car salesman at a local dealership.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong to the dealerships. We love you guys. Thank you for your support. We greatly
Thank God
appreciate
for what
it.
y'all do.
So tell me, what is the easiest part of your job?
Probably getting up there and selling cars. I mean, one of the hardest parts is getting to them.
Okay, that was going to be the second question.
one of the hardest parts is and it's really not that difficult, but it's you know, we all travel so much, and you know, travel can be difficult at times, whether you're driving, whether you're flying, especially if you're flying. You know, sometimes things are out of your control that you know, you need to be here at this certain time, and the plane is delayed, and this, that, and the other. And really, in my opinion, one of the hardest things is travel.
And you live where?
New Braunfels.
New Braunfels, which is about 5 hours away from us, more or less?
Yeah.
Five and a half hours?
Just north of San Antonio, in between San Antonio and San Marcos.
That's not too far away, but just imagine, and then sometimes you always come and spend the night, or do you come and go sometimes?
Very rarely do I come and go, but I like to spend the night just because I'm not a morning person. I like to sleep in, and I like Hilton's.
Hey, I hear you loud and clear. Has there ever been a time where you see something so crazy and outrageous on the block that when I ask you this question, you're going to go right back to that moment?
You know, I've been doing it so long, and there probably is, and I really can't think of immediately something right off the top of my head. You know, one of the craziest things is you know, I've seen people try to small, minor fender bender accidents that have happened on the lot where people see an opportunity and maybe run across 2 lanes and, you know, baseball slide into home up underneath the car to try to get paid.
Oh,
you know, I have seen stuff like that. And
not here, for the record, not here.
But it has happened, and I've seen a few fist fights.
Really, over a car?
Oh, well.
Because they were trying to bid each other up, or was it?
No, you know, one day they were friends, the next day they were at the auction fighting, and you know, you don't know really what started the fight because it's so loud out there, so you couldn't hear the previous conversation. The next thing you know, 2 guys are fighting, and you don't know why.
As long as it's not my fault,
Right,
it ain't my fault.
So that's happened. You know, weird cars, weird trucks, extravagant stuff. I mean, Bentleys and you know, Ferraris and all that stuff is very interesting.
So what is the highest amount of a vehicle that you sold?
Probably a $380,000 Bentley.
Nice.
Which that, you know,
I like to see the bite fee on that thing.
You get into some of the other auctioneers that do real estate and you know, fine art. You know what I mean? $380,000 is nothing.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
100%.
You know, the Barrett Jackson sales. Sometimes those cars bring over $1 million, and you know, my hat's off to them because those bigger numbers, you know, they can be intimidating, and you know, those guys are very good at what they do.
100%. I love watching that. Like,
Yes.
my wife always tells me, it's like, you're not at work, but you're looking at stuff related to work. I'm like, this is exhilarating. And not only that, you learn about so many cars that, you've never seen, that you'll never see. But you
Right.
see them across the block, and you're like, wow, the market for those cars is crazy.
Yeah.
So, okay, kind of piggybacking off of that. So, and as you've noticed in the past, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 years, you've seen the big influence of digital online bidding in the lanes.
Most definitely. It's 15, 20 years ago, I mean, it was all hands-on. There was no computers. There were very few people with cell phones other than bag phones.
Yeah.
And everybody had a little orange or yellow NADA book in their hands. It's kind of a guideline. And everybody got a new book every month.
Yep.
And they had stacks and stacks of NADA books in
when
their office.
when I first got here back in 2016, we used to get a box every month full of the books, and we used to, here you go, here you go.
Are they even still in business? I don't know.
I know. I mean, any days it's still in business, but I don't know that they did away with the paperback books, because I mean,
they've had to move to a digital platform.
Well, they do. No, they do for sure. It was cool to always see that.
Yeah.
My dad had a friend that I used to go to auction up in San Antonio every Thursday when I was a senior in high school. He used to give me $100 for going and driving the car back for him.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the first things you do when you get there and you get your bidder badge, give me my book. Because I need to find out how much these cars are. And it's crazy where we were in that state of time to where we're at now, where everybody's using their phone as a scanner and scanning cars, and then boom, all the information pops up.
That's exactly.
So with that being said, what do you think in the next 5-10 years is going to happen with all this digital and AI stuff and all that? What do you think? Do you think eventually all auctions are going to be just digital on the screen and no cars running through the lanes?
I hope not. Let's hope not. And it's funny that you say that, because even 15 years ago, when they were installing computers at some of the auctions that I worked, we were totally against it. We loved the hands-on. We loved seeing the people. We loved the crowds being there, helping the customers, this, that, and the other. And the crowds have thinned out. Younger generation has come in, and they're a lot more familiar and comfortable with computers versus where an older car dealer, he's not going to buy nothing off the computer. He's going to go put his hands on it before he buys anything. The younger generation, they have no problems
and that's
with
what
it.
you see. I don't know if you see it, but especially going
most
you see the generational torch being passed from mom or dad that started the business, and now pass it on to son or daughter.
Yes.
And you always used to see mom and dad there every single week. Now you see son or daughter online, because they're like, oh, I don't want to go there. One, it's I got to get up out of bed, or I got to leave the office, or it's too hot in there, or whatever it is. But it's crazy how the touch, feel, smell part of it is kind of dwindling down as generation.
It is.
The generational torch gets passed from the old schoolers to the new schoolers.
Well, in my opinion, both ways of doing it probably has benefits and drawbacks. And I've never been the digital type to buy online, or I've always been an auctioneer, so I've never had to be faced with that issue. But I still think of buying online, and it I don't even like buying a T-shirt online. Because one, who do you return it to if it doesn't work? You drop
it off at Staples, like Amazon or UPS.
So I mean, I'm one of the hands-on type of guy. I like to put my hands on things and pay for it and go home with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not worry about it.
Not pay for it and wait 7-10 days, hopefully you get it on time.
Right, and hope no one messes with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because then it gets dropped out of your front door.
Or in transport, or there's just so many things that could go wrong. Luckily, we're very blessed and fortunate with transportation and auction owners protecting dealers, and it's like one great big family.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And we, in one way or the other, I would like to think that we all try to look out for each other.
So if you could give a shameless plug for buyers out there that are going to see this, that currently don't buy with us, why would you tell them to come buy with us?
Why would I tell them to come by with us? Because they'll love. You get the experience here that maybe you used to get on a regular basis in other places, but this place here is still independently owned. It's family owned. It's customer service oriented, and I mean they just do everything right. And you know they put a whole new meaning to when you're here, your family.
That's right.
And they take that to heart. And they really do mean that. And I've been fortunate enough to be in here. They opened.
You opened in 08. How long have you been here?
They opened in September of 08, and I got here in January of 09.
Oh, damn, so you've literally been here since like the beginning.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the loyalty and that support, guys. It's one of the big stepping stones, building blocks, foundation builders of our industry, especially for independent auctions, because we're a dying breed. But you know, those that are still here, that are still truly independent, will always make sure to do the best that we can, not only for our employees, number one, our leaders, number two, but our auctioneers and wingmen and everybody that has to travel and be away from their family. We do not take that for granted, and we make sure that we make them known that we don't take that for granted. So
And
thank you, guys.
You know, it's thank you, and it's just like I said that the ownership here is phenomenal, and they really do show it in every aspect of everything they do, and you know they take it seriously when they say you're here, when you're here, your family. They really do mean that.
That's right. So before we wrap up, because I know we got our second chance show to do, let's do a quick blitz round. So I'm gonna ask you either or, and you say which one.
Okay.
All right. So coffee or energy drink?
Coffee.
Fast talker or smooth talker?
Smooth.
Yeah, he's one of the only ones that you can actually clearly understand what he's saying up on the block, and not some that you look at and you're like, what? What did you just say? So that's always good. Manual or automatic?
Manual.
Sedan or SUV?
SUV.
SUV or truck?
Truck.
Honda or Toyota?
Toyota.
Toyota or Ford?
Ford.
Ford or Dodge?
Ford.
Ford or Chevy?
Chevy.
BMW or Mercedes?
Toyota.
That's a good one. Spanky, well, I got nothing but, great things. Thank you for your time. I think this was very insightful for all of us that don't know what it is to be an auctioneer, or some of the stuff that he said that they look for, or stuff like that. I think it's a great thing to know that you guys are up there, but you guys are also like very observant. You guys are relationship oriented, and at the end of the day, you want to sell the car for the highest amount possible, so you can help the seller, one, the buyer who's buying, and the auction that you're auctioneering at. One last word. I always like to end my podcast with, is there a quote that you like to live by? Is there a saying that you always remember? Anything like that?
I've always kind of lived by, if you take care of your job will take care of you.
Boom. There you have it. Guys, this will wrap it up. We'll catch you on the next one. I'm really going to try to get Bernard to get up here, because I haven't spoken to him like in 4 or 5 years. But don't forget, here at Big Valley, we're driving excellence, helping you succeed one vehicle at a time, because when you're here,
Your family.
that's right. We'll see you.
Thank you.